Welcome to the Post Credit Podcast, where two movie-obsessed guys talk film like it's Friday night in 1985. And the only algorithm that matters is the one at your local video store, which was Blockbuster for me. I'm Steven.
I'm Christian.
And welcome.
I love your voice. It's just like a sexiness to it. You know what? I feel like this adds a bit of class to the thing. Everyone hearing me, they're like, I'm not listening to this. But they hear your voice, like, I want to hear from this guy.
Yeah. I could go straight. G'day, mates. Welcome to the show. I don't know
what
I ever left.
What's the diff? Can you speak an American accent versus...
It's not American. It's Canadian.
No, it is Canadian. But can you speak an American accent?
Yeah, I mean, it depends where. So, like California, no. See, but I go full broadcaster. Welcome to the show. My name is Steven Gadlick, and I'm going to talk to you about movies, life, and cinema. Now
do that in your normal voice.
I'm gonna. I don't know. No. What did I even say? Welcome to the post. Let's see.
Whatever, Steven. You know.
Hey, I'm Steven. Welcome to the Post Credit Podcast. And
say about.
What?
Say about.
A boot. What we're going to talk about is about movies.
Well, I thought today's episode we'd go into
Yes.
iconic music scores. Like, what
Ooh.
is the most iconic music score?
Oof.
What is, it stands out? And I thought we'd go tit for tit, going top five countdown
Tit
of
for
like
tat.
what we think is the most, and we can.
Yeah.
And I imagine a lot of ours are going to cross over here, so we can go into it. But
I'll start. Na Batman.
is that in there?
No, it's not.
I've got that as an honorable mention, and I've got a few honorable mentions I can go into and see what you think about these. So you said
Let's start. You go with your
Are you
top
sure?
5. Yeah.
You don't go honorable mentions?
Well, because that's at the end. Honorable mentions
Okay,
at
I'll
the
throw
end.
it here. Look.
Okay, let's start. You
All
go
right,
first.
I'm going to
Christian.
go first. I'll play it here.
Yes.
And that way, I mean, if
Maybe
they're
can I
iconic,
guess it in the first two bars?
yeah. And I mean, look, I think that's I think that's what makes an iconic theme, right? When it's you just pick it straight away,
I think so.
right? Especially in a movie, and you just
Yeah.
recognize. So this is my number 5, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, Psycho.
Right?
Yeah.
Now tell me this isn't. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted and we get pulled from this, right? And I think like that's an iconic one. Like, and by the way, picking my number 5 on there was like tricky as, but like anyone who hears that, you just recognize the shower scene.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes a good piece of music, a piece of like a theme is or a section of movie that if you do it right, you just picture the scene rather than the movie. Sometimes it almost becomes a character in itself, the theme. And I think that one, Alfred Hitchcock, that's an iconic one. That's my.
Do you know
number
the
5.
composer of it?
I did, but
Trivia.
yeah, there you go. John Williams. Anyone? Do you know?
Okay, cool. No, that's
I should have come prepared, right? With the.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's.
I'll tell you why. And last minute, I'll be honest. Last minute, I actually swapped it because I mentioned this to someone. Like, nah, you can't have that. And all the composers, I had the composer's name on it, but I actually swapped because this was my number 5 originally.
Oh, Batman.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. See, I had the
Yeah.
composer there, but this changed to skip to people who don't know. Come on, how iconic is this? Boom.
Yeah.
And now we're on a ride. Ready?
Yeah.
We're going to the ride. Come in. Anyway, but I had to kick it off my list. I was like, Batman's
No, okay.
gone.
I that's a great choice, and I like. I think
Psycho or Batman? Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah.
I mean, like a both.
Yeah, yeah.
But I like your choice with Psycho, and I think it's a great way to start this because of how simple and minimalistic it is, and it depicts this like really pivotal moment in the movie, and it's iconic not just for that movie, but I think just for like cinema. Like you would hear that and be like, okay, like Psycho, and to reply with that with my top 5,
Give me your fifth, number 5.
I will say. Oh, should I do
Do you want to do it on my phone here?
Yeah.
You search it because I pay YouTube Premium. Rolling in it.
This would be my top 5 to kind of combat with the minimalist.
Here we go. See
Ready?
if I pick it. Of course. That's a classic John Williams.
Yeah, that's.
And
I'll start with John Williams because
Yes.
I mean, let's just say it right now that he's the master of the score.
Yes, for sure, definitely. And like again, you hear that dun, 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 dun. You just picture the shark. You don't want to go in the freaking water. If I hear that going in a pool, I'm like, no, I'm not getting in the water.
Well, the score, as if for anyone listening and watching, anybody who knows about that score and about John Williams and Spielberg making that movie, there's a lot of complications on the set of Jaws with making a shark come to life, and they had a lot of problems and delays, and this was Spielberg's like kind of like first feature film that was like something that mattered in his career, and there was so much emphasis on the shark being this like pivotal villain in the movie, and what ended up happening was Spielberg heard John Williams' score for this, and it was that, and that became the shark. The score became the shark, and the less is more factor of the unknown of like, you know, evil is lurking and approaching in the depths, and it made a whole generation of people completely scared of sharks, you know. That just, yeah, it almost like exemplifies the fact that how iconic that is.
And the cool thing is, you know, every time, you know, especially the last act of that movie where they're out at sea with the shark, you're hearing it, you know, the shark's there. And there's moments in that movie where they're exploring underwater, where you hear glimpses of that theme, and it's not quite, you know, Bruce. I say Bruce the shark. But I said Jaws the shark. No, the shark's there where you hear glimpses of it, where there's a bit, he looks at a boat that's been destroyed, and you see a head pop up where it's like the glimpses of that theme, but not quite. But you know when you hear that, the shark's there. So that's a good choice. And I say it's so iconic. And to jump ahead, I had that as my number 2 most iconic theme.
Ooh.
Jaws.
Whoa,
so that's how high I rank that.
I think I brought that to 5 to combat against your simple like score.
Yeah, the minimalistic. Yeah.
But that just proves like you don't need a big symphony orchestra in order to like convey a part in a movie. Like less is more.
Yes,
like how much
sure.
does that actually work in storytelling?
Oh,
like,
totally,
huge.
totally.
That's a very good start.
Well, look, my number 4 is probably my favorite one, to be honest, but I've got it as number 4 where I feel like definitely every male who watches movies will know what this is. The female crowd, I don't know, but I've got
You never know.
I've got this, my friend. I've got right, Adrian. Got the face down.
Doing? You know what
Come on. You know what? If I'm at the gym. And I put
You
this
play
on,
this?
I can lift anything. I'll struggle. I'm like,
You're a
screw
bum
this.
rack.
Gonna fly now. I'm putting
ain't
it on.
over till
Bill
it's over.
Conti. Yeah, I'll lift anything. So
Yeah.
I think. What are your thoughts on this one? I think this is
Yeah,
like,
I think that's pretty iconic. That's a great number.
Right,
4.
four,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I just think
that movie too. Like, actually, who composes that?
Bill Conti is his name.
Bill Conti composed that, and I think, yeah, that it's funny because even a movie like Rocky, which was made for no money, and like Jaws, like.
Yes.
I mean, Hitchcock's different because he was like, you know, his own realm of filmmaker.
Yes,
but
correct.
like Jaws and Rocky both came from this like no money kind of movie, right? Like it was
Yes.
like the first of both movies for those storytellers, right?
Yes.
And like that is such the theme of Rocky, and the theme of the underdog is that movie, and the theme of like people training. You know?
Yeah,
It's just
totally.
like it's everlasting, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's got like a nostalgia feel to it. Again, it's the 70s, and even something about the theme feels a bit cheapish. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like, you know, and it just works, you know. And then there's little vocals in there, gonna fly now. Like it's just these little lines
That's the
in
best part
there.
of the song.
Yeah, totally. And it just, the way the movie is cut to, especially him running in the first one, hits perfectly timed, like the way they've edited that. And that's the thing with editing as well. When you get a situation like that, you've got to cut to the movie. But to flip something on you, E.T., John Williams composer, there's a scene where E.T.'s getting away from, you know, trying to get E.T. away through the forest. He's on a bike. The way John Williams composed that sequence, he composed it to the way the scene was cut. Where normally it would go the other way, where like, no, we have to make this scene that cut, you know, 5 frames from there, cut there, just to fit the music. But John Williams like, leave your scene.
Yeah.
I'll make my piece of music to that scene, which is pretty crazy, right?
That is crazy because there's a different method to the madness.
Totally, and because music's so structured and, you know, 4x4 time beat or whatever it is, he's gone and just made these little trickle sounds in ET that fit the scene because he's like, don't edit your scene. I'll make the music around your scene, which is insane.
Yeah, and now he probably has any kind of control and power, and
for sure.
yeah, that's a very
And it's a
good
lot of
choice.
trust, right, from the director composer, that relationship, you know.
Rocky,
so.
what first or second movie to use Steadicam? I think first was Silence.
First one. Well, when he's running,
Shining.
they're actually shining. Well, look, I don't know. Look,
I think
there's
it was Rocky,
there's
wasn't it?
arguments with it where No, Rocky, they were in just a van.
No, going up the stairs.
Yeah, they had a version of that. Yeah, there was a version of that.
Steadicam.
But there was a version of a Steadicam. But people argue, like the first Halloween horror movie made a version of a Steadicam that was unique and new. Obviously, The Shining later on. Did
Yeah.
it. There's different arguments out there that what was the first Steadicam.
Yeah.
Shot.
But that
there.
was such a,
But
like-
up the stairs is cool. Like that shot, him running up where we come around. It's like
it's like one of the most iconic
Yes,
scenes. It's like
for
any
sure.
montage of any like sequence of movies for the Oscars or anything in highlight reel
Totally.
world is there's that shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever been to Philly?
no, I wish.
So in my number 4, so let me just go into my categories. So.
Here we go. Concentrate.
Okay, I'm
Use
gonna
the
do this.
force, Luke.
That's not in that category. Yet.
Yes.
Okay, I would say my number 4. So number 5 was
Yeah, dude. It's your 4. I love it. That's another John Williams special.
Junior. Right?
Nah, it's a classic. That's like up there. And look,
I mean, yeah, there's a theme going on with my selections here.
no, totally. Yeah, well, I mean, you clearly have a thing for John Williams.
There's so
But
many
look,
more.
to be fair, that's my number 3. So there we go. We're going shifting. So
Yeah.
I had that as next. Like that's just, I mean, iconic. And it's interesting because like, how iconic would you say Indiana Jones is as a film in terms of like the realm of cinema?
I mean,
the character.
for me and us, probably is
It's in the
pretty,
top-
is like
top 5 or 10,
5.
right? In
Yeah,
terms of
I think
like
this
a-
day and age, I think it's kind of gotten lost a little bit, maybe
Yes.
because not to blame the sequels too much, but
No, well, in
Need some
terms of
rewrites.
like franchises, people are going to say Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever,
Yeah.
where it gets lost in the shuffle. But the theme,
yeah, it's
Still-
like it
still-
almost surpasses than the actual character.
yes, correct, right? Well, that's like
Yeah.
an incredible one, right? Like so.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, I think my favorite out of the I mean, I can't go past Raiders of the Lost Ark because that's the first. It's like it's hard to always not to appreciate the first because that's like it's like Back to the Future, right?
Yes.
But for me, Last Crusade was like iconic, and it's funny because there's even things in that movie which I find like what we spoke in our last episode is like not overhyped moments, but there's like certain things they're like, oh, they found that really easily, or whatever it was like. But Last Crusade, and I think for me, Last Crusade is just so iconic because of Sean Connery and like him and as an actor and that character in that movie. It's just like who's just the best. So I think that trilogy of movies, like Temple of Doom, is probably the least popular out of the 3.
used to love
That
it when I was a
opening
kid.
scene is probably pretty iconic. In when they're
The bridge scene is pretty cool in Temple of Doom.
yeah, that's pretty iconic as well.
Kalima?
Kalima.
And Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom actually changed the whole rating system with PG. They brought in PG basically. Can you have? Because we got your 4. Do you have your 3 actually?
Yeah.
Let me hear. Let me pass you that.
What did
over.
you just you? No.
Well, because I had my Rocky, I had my.
Psycho?
Sorry, I had Psycho, Rocky, Indiana Jones, and Jaws. So that's,
Okay,
that-
so
we've crossed over. So I've got to get a couple from you.
Okay, so this is my number 2.
Yeah. But what was your number 3? This is your number 3 now.
So this is my number 3.
Yeah.
It's controversial. What I put as 2 and 3
Very
here.
controversial.
I know my
People
number
are gonna
1.
phone in if you think it's controversial. Just thinking
No,
about
it's
it, he's
not.
processing. We're probably gonna have the same number 1.
No. we
Really?
won't. Because
I think we will.
I think this is your number 1.
You've probably been nailing them so far. No. It's not my number 1. It's not even my top 5. It's my honourable mention.
See how there's a theme going on with John Williams?
You know, the
No, it's
composer.
Alan Silvestri.
Alan Silvestri,
What am I
friend.
talking about?
Right behind you. You got the car behind you.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I mean, yeah, definitely like iconic. I mean, look, I had it as my honorable mention, obviously, and stuff. But the only thing I feel, I mean, I love it. I would have it in my top 5. It's there, but in terms of if I'm doing a list for the general public, I'm like, do people know Back to the Future these days?
I don't think it, but that doesn't matter. I think it's like iconic. Maybe is not so much for the masses; it's iconic for you, and I think maybe for others who are
okay, true.
listening. Right? It's like for me, that's like
Well, if you're doing
Pretty
lists,
iconic.
lists and stuff, if you're doing a list of like, the greatest, this, that, is it like?
yeah, fair.
But I had that in my in my top 5 because I'm like, I love the movie. I mean, I got a bloody tattoo of Back to the Future on my arm,
Yeah,
But
it's pretty much perfect movie.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
kind
so. Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to go into like there's a universe where there's a Marty out there who dies. Like you
But
can
no,
go,
I
like
love
we've
it.
seen all
Obviously,
the-
it's my favorite movie up there. Like it's one of my favorite movies for sure. It's like incredible and definitely iconic. Like that theme, and it's cool. It's not John Williams, right? It's good to get him off the list.
Well, yeah, actually, and I fooled myself because I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, and my
No.
friend who's a composer fanatic would be like, dude, what the hell?
I think the theme works so perfect in terms of adding suspense and building. In the third act of that movie, where he's got to time perfectly the timing of the lightning strike in the clock tower
With tension, right?
the tension building, the music, it just all builds perfect. And as it gets to that point, boom, like it's just perfectly.
And then
like,
it just goes quiet.
yes, silence.
And then you just hear it going,
And it comes back in slowly of like a triumphant moment, you know.
and then he's and
and
then
little twinkles.
and then it goes into like it goes back into 1985, right?
Yes,
And he ends
it's
up
a
there.
shithole.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the 50s were great. Yeah, great for some.
yeah,
but that's why I think I like the second when the way it ends, where that moment happens, and then Marty comes
little
again.
twinkle,
Like you
that-
got to think like Doc Brown. He's this little kid stuffed him up.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Like,
totally. Well, I think I said this once before. You got this poor guy.
Yeah.
You got this kid that says, "Hey, I'm from the future. I'm from 1985. You build a time machine that like you've helped
This
me."
is when you die.
Yeah, and then like so he's helping this kid get to 1985, which he does. Seconds later, you've got Marty running around the corner going, "Yeah, you sent me
worked,
back, but you got to help me again." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Gee, great Scott," which is really, fuck, basically, like I'm
Yeah.
just dropping in. And then he collapses, wakes up, finds out, okay, I've got to help this kid go back to 1885 to save myself from getting killed. It's just like,
And he completely freaks
this is in the
out.
space of like 4 days. Like,
man.
it's like this poor old guy,
Yeah.
discovering all this stuff.
We'll have a question in the episode where we talk about what's the greatest trilogy.
Yes, that'll be a
that's-
future one.
that's
100%.
up
Yeah, it's a hard one.
there.
as
Okay,
well.
so that's my third one.
Yeah, that's third. Give me your number 2.
Okay.
Because I had Jaws as my number 2. So here
Oh
we
man,
go.
there's so many.
I think
though.
we have the
Like,
same
I
number
can, I
one.
can go so many ways, but I think for me, like what it meant to me is like growing up is probably one thing as opposed to what is actually good. But it's a bit of a build up here. Do you know what this is already? Can you see the
familiar.
reflection in my glasses?
Sounds familiar. Skip ahead. This
is very
That was my honorable mention as well.
Yeah.
It's John Williams as well.
Yeah.
It's beautiful thing.
So I mean, this movie for me personally was like the movie of movies for me as a kid. Like
Yeah,
I was obsessed. I like the first thing I ever wanted to be in as a kid was a
play a bit more of
paleontologist. Yeah.
Here we go.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
He did it. The son, is that what it says?
Yeah.
What's Jeff Goldblum say?
Son of a bitch, you did it.
Yeah, it jumps up.
That's my favorite when Ellie's just like,
There we go.
these plants? And he's like,
Yeah.
and then Dr. Grant's like,
I know, as if you would have noticed these massive. What are
I
those?
know, right?
What are these dinosaurs called?
Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus. Yeah, you got these massive things, and you don't see them driving up the car.
No,
It's
but
like
like
what's
that-
going on over here?
I think
What?
another thing we could do in the future in another episode is talk about iconic scenes in movies.
Yes.
like movies
that's a good one.
That's a very good one, and I think like that music builds and like
Yes.
you're like it's the first time you've ever seen CGI dinosaurs, let alone any like that's like the peak of CGI in the 90s, right? It was just so massive, and like you literally think they're real.
Yes,
like I
totally.
literally thought as a kid there's an island out there with dinosaurs, right? And like and it holds up now.
Definitely.
Right?
Oh,
Obviously, the
100%.
sequel is kind of like Lost World was fine, but then everything and
Yes.
Jurassic Park 3 was.
Yeah.
But like,
Anything else dinosaur is kind of
yeah, I mean,
And it's a fine line of using prosthetics and CGI and doing it right. That's seamless because some of those scenes are obviously
yeah.
big prosthetics that work well. You got to get the lighting right,
Or the Velociraptor.
the textures right, and I think that's when they cared about CGI, right?
Yeah.
But
When it didn't
like-
become a commodity.
I mean, James Cameron Terminator 2 is like, what's this? You know,
Actually,
And
speaking
it's-
of minimalistic, honorable, we'll talk
that's an
about
honor.
Yeah, it's an
that's
honorable
definitely
mention.
one.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
coming up. Don't
Cut
worry.
that part out because that was gonna.
Nah, we got it. We got it.
What's our number one? Here we go. Iconic score of cinematic history.
Imagine I just put something else that's just read.
Ba-da-ba-da,
Here we go. I had this, which I think it's yours. Right? It's got to be, right?
Buddy.
Right? Come on. Is it your
This
number
gives
one?
me goosebumps till this day.
Look, and the weird thing is, I'm not like that a fan of it, but I think it's iconic.
But I think
'Cause I feel like now it's a bit boring or repeating. Like, okay, but it's iconic.
here's the thing. Is it the only score in cinema? Maybe not, because I think even Harry Potter, which is also
Yes.
a great honorable mention. Yes, but it's like the first thing you hear is the score.
Yes.
Like this movie, it's like, you know, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away,
Boom.
quiet, boom, and you're like,
Yeah,
just like
yes,
your
yes.
head just goes and explodes.
Yeah,
You're
for
just like,
sure.
oh
for
my
sure.
god!
Totally.
And there's this scroll which is describing, like you're trying to read it, let alone
Yes.
embrace what's going
in
on.
a weird angle too.
Yeah, you're like. But like man, that score, and I still remember, like there's a great podcast on podcast or Spotify called Blockbuster, and it talks about the story of George Lucas, and it's really, really good. Highly recommend watching it. But there's listening to it. But there's an episode where it introduces John Williams and what he does to the movie, and like George Lucas had a lot of issues trying to make Star Wars because of budget and trying to make visual effects with ILM. Visual effects have never really been done before. You had like all these complications, and they were over budget, and they were like just time was of the essence. There was a moment where George Lucas went to London, to the UK, to see John Williams, and then basically he was working on the score, and he just like left him to his own devices. Like, this is like a space opera. Like, here we go. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering the story slightly, but just for the context, George Lucas called Spielberg while he was listening to the score and was like, here, listen to this. And literally, like, it was long distance calling in 1970, whatever.
That's awesome.
And he like, and it was like, he understood Star Wars after he listened to the score.
Yes,
and
that's
that's
cool.
introduced Spielberg into Star Wars later on.
Yes.
But it was like that song, that score is just so like impactful in cinema and that movie.
You can make an argument the Darth Vader theme is like iconic.
Imperial
on its
March,
own.
yeah.
That's almost just as iconic. Like just about in
Yeah.
terms of like defining the character with the
Like
the piece
something
of
funny that I do even now with John Williams scores, even like I'll put it on in the car with the family in the car, and I'll pretend we're in a starfighter and like there's asteroids and like we're just like, come on, let's
Yeah,
go.
you're
And my
running
daughter's
red
like,
lights.
boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
My wife goes, "Wah!"
Yeah, you're
It's
running
great.
red lights. You're smashing into
Yeah, no,
cars.
not like
you're
that intense.
And your wife's like, "Great kid, don't get cocky."
Yeah, don't get cocky. Yeah.
No, well, I definitely have as my number one in terms of a movie iconic score, and I've got some honorable mentions. See what you feel about these.
Oh yeah, so that's a great top 5. Let's talk about honorable mentions.
Yes, I mean, we'll pretty much like for like. I did mention Batman. I had a Back to the Future as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I actually had the Superman theme in there.
Yeah.
Which I think,
Yeah.
depending, I mean, I kind of feel like
No, that's pretty iconic.
the Superman logo, you can go anywhere in the world and kind of go, okay, there, like in terms of a logo and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Where the theme I think's up there, but again, I don't know how high up there is. I mean, the Terminator thing,
Well, that's that was the honorable
that's up
mention I
there.
was thinking too.
You know, and I had
Well,
obviously Jurassic Park. I had there as well. The one that was really left field for me, I had the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Ennio Morricone.
I mean, that's like
But-
Western. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but I
pretty-
feel like.
that's pretty up there.
Yeah, right. But it's kind of forgotten a bit and lost. And I mean, it was the '60s. But
Well, they were making that many westerns back then as we
Yes.
were making freaking
Superhero movies,
now.
yeah,
so it's like,
yeah. So, but I think we got a strong list right between the two of us.
Yeah, some honorable mentions for me is Howard Shore's Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Definitely John Williams' Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like that, like is pretty iconic.
Yeah, of course.
For
I
a
had
lot of
that up there
people.
as well.
I think recently there hasn't been much. Like Avengers, did their thing with the
Yeah.
MCU. Like for a lot
If
of
you're not
people.
talking like, it's hard. If you're not talking, speaking, and I won't even go into it, but I watched One Battle After Another, and that's just got like, there's a good half an hour of a music theme just playing throughout this
Oh,
suspense
cool.
of half an hour, and it's insane. Like it's
Yeah,
incredible.
I gotta watch that movie.
You
I
know,
haven't seen
yeah,
it.
and it's so talking about minimalistic.
Yeah.
It's perfect, and it just builds suspense with just two notes playing out.
Yeah.
like there. But I just still, what you say. There's not much modern where you kind of like stand out and that plays like, And
I think, but
feel
there's like this doesn't discredit anybody who is making and composing music now for cinema. Like there's so many good ones. Like there's a lot like in the Planet of the Apes series that I like, and like, oh man,
it's just
there's
kind of, it doesn't
like
sit with it as
Avatar.
iconic.
I mean,
You don't
just-
hear it and go, I want to
Avatar's
get
pretty.
this.
Like there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
in
and I
that.
mean, like, I think a lot of people rely on music that exists for a soundtrack, and they get a composer for the in between bits. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack's basically
Well, yeah.
or
Tarantino stuff is all like reused
Tarantino's
stuff.
like that. Even though he got Ennio Morricone for like Hateful Eight and stuff, but there's not real iconic,
No.
themes.
But
so it's,
it's and for anybody who's listening or watching, yes, we are missing a lot of really good ones, and we'd love to hear it
think
in
so?
the comments. Oh, I mean,
phone
maybe.
in. What did we miss?
Yeah, nobody
Phones are lined
phones
up.
in no more. But in 1985, you'd phone in. Use your fax machine.
Yes, totally.
Page us, and
Yeah.
we'll get back to you when we can get one of those. But yeah, I think that's a great list that we've compiled, and a great topic for this episode.
Well, join us next time. Please subscribe, leave comments.
Yeah.
Whatever, join our mailing list. It's coming out. What do you got? Anything? What do you got?
Why are you dating things back to like when we used to do things back then?
I don't know. What did I do today?
So watch, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you got to do in the social media realm. We just want to do this for anybody who is a lover of movies, lover of music, pop culture, and stay tuned for more topics, more conversations with Steven
and Christian.
Thank you for listening to the Post Credit Podcast.